Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of General Geekery. With me, as always, is JD.
Hello.
And I once again, I don't actually know what we have planned for this episode.
Well, you were going to open that robot.
Yeah, and my Outback came today.
Ooh, good. Open that too.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, well,
I do not like the windowless packaging. I mean, the art's kind of cool. It's kind of like impressionistic. It's pastel, which is an interesting choice. I mean, pastel's kind of hard to work in, but yeah, I just do not dig the windowless packaging. And I did see Hasbro is going back to a biodegradable window for the packaging.
I am not entirely certain what they expected when they decided that all their toy lines needed to go into the windowless cardboard packaging. I don't know what other results they were expecting because yes, it there was massive amounts of negative feedback. And if anybody at Hasbro was shocked, they need to be smacked for not anticipating that.
I don't buy a lot of stuff at retail, but once they went to windowless packaging, I skipped it altogether.
I have taken that risk a couple times because, like, I found that Snake Eyes and Timber set for half price on clearance at Target, and I bought it. And I went out to the parking lot and I opened the box right then to make sure it was Snake Eyes and Timber in there and not some bullshit.
Yeah. You got
So
that Daniel LaRusso Power Ranger.
yes, there was
You ever
that,
gonna
and
see his
then
head for that?
I have not yet gotten the box or been to the post office. But we will start with I have not yet gotten the box. So, I mean, time is not of the essence
No,
here.
I'm
So
curious.
I'm, yeah, all the other stuff I've gotten in the windowless boxes, I'm pretty sure it's all been mail order, Amazon or whatever.
Yeah,
So
mine's all been Amazon or Big Bad Toy Store, and I haven't gotten that much stuff. A couple, I don't know if I've. This might be my first Joe in a windowless packaging.
yeah, because you skip CoverGirl and Falcon,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um,
And Crimson, I think my last one was Crimson Guard. I'm trying to think if that came in
that
window. I don't
no,
think
that had a that was with Dusty and Zorana, so it had the window.
I've gotten a couple of Iron Man figures, and let's see, I got Ironheart and the new Extremis armor, and seems like maybe one other one, and that's it. I think I've got a War Machine coming, the black and blue one that's just came out,
Yeah,
but it's
I've got CoverGirl and Falcon, and I'm trying to think. I don't even think I've gotten any of the windowless packaging Star Wars figures.
I certainly have.
Um,
I stopped buying 6-inch Star Wars figures years and years and years ago.
and and
My last 6-inch Star Wars figure was a Death Trooper.
and that's what I've been buying lately is Black Series Star Wars. So, um,
I have zero interest in 6-inch Star Wars.
I I like them for display, and
Oh, and
yeah, so
I got the Boba Fett, the deluxe Boba Fett. I got a couple of those deluxe Boba Fetts because I used one for that custom that I did for the Make a Wish
yeah,
Foundation.
yeah,
I
I've got
was going to mention I did get the custom finished, completely finished, and is in the mail to R2KT auctions as of today. And I
cool.
mentioned this on my Facebook page and my YouTube channel that auction will have an online component. So it will start sometime in late June and end on July 2nd at the time, concurrently with the physical auction. I don't have links or times yet, but as soon as I do, that information will go up on my socials.
Yeah, I watched your video where you showcase Boba Fett. Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how that figure turned out. It turned out pretty nice.
I um yeah, and I watched your unboxing of the robot, which means you got a second robot or the same robot to make it
I
custom.
got a different one.
Okay. How many of them are there?
I don't know. I kind of stopped keeping track of what's coming out from Joy Toy. Uh, they put out so much stuff so frequently. It's really hard to keep up. And right now, it's mostly Warhammer stuff. I got one set of Warhammer figures, and then they just keep pumping them out, and it's too fast and too expensive just to keep up. So,
that's how it seems with the Marvel Legends stuff. There's always something new coming out, and I see them at like I can't even like even being part of a Marvel Legends group on Facebook, I still can't keep up with all of it
yeah,
because
I couldn't tell you what was current, what the current wave is.
the latest I've seen is the figures from Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
I haven't even seen those figures yet.
And I don't the way they've cut down on the amount of shit that's included with the Marvel Legends stuff. I really don't anticipate buying any in particular. Because really at this point, a lot of their characters that I would otherwise buy, half of the accessories are interchangeable hands.
Yeah.
The Walgreens exclusive Moonstone figure, because I like Carla Sofin as a character, but the Walgreens Moonstone figure, I saw it last week. It comes with a pair of hands. That is it.
Man, they are kind of cutting back
like
on.
not even like the light effects or anything. There's just nothing. There's no, and there's a couple of deluxe Spider-Man figures coming out that have interchangeable hands and webs. That's it. Nothing else. Like they don't even have interchangeable heads, for unmasked and masked. So, luckily there's almost nothing that I need from the Marvel Legends stuff. I mean, I probably will get that War Machine if I see it, but
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a
I have a lot of the War Machine figures, but
I'm pretty sure it's War Machine. It's a deep. I was gonna see where it was actually because I I hit ship my loot because I got the hang on just a second here. Where am I looking here? I know my account. Come on. Let's see, because my shipments, because my Paz Vizsla figure came in to Big Bad Toy Store, and I was really looking forward to that. So once that hit my pile of loot, I hit ship, and Marvel Legends War Machine was in there, and it's kind of it's very reminiscent of a stealth armor. It's kind of that deep metallic blue and black. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I probably need it because I've got 6 or 7 War Machine figures. If I'm not mistaken, I think that one's based on the video game, but
Yeah, I don't actually know on that one.
I saw the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 wave at Target and Walmart, and they're cool because they're in the blue uniforms, reminiscent from the comics. They're in the, but like Mantis is kind of cool in the uniform. Rocket's pretty cool in this uniform, but I don't need them. Like I don't need I don't know. They're not they're not anything that I. Maybe if I was a completist or a huge Guardians of the, I mean, I love the movies; they're funny as shit. But
We're gonna
I don't
go.
need toys.
We're gonna go. Emily's out visiting her brother, so as soon as she gets back, we are gonna go to it.
Yeah. Ari wants to go see it, so we'll be going to see it. They are a big fan of the first two, and we rewatched Infinity War, and we're in the midst of rewatching Endgame. That's kind of a long movie.
It is
But
a long movie.
It's
kind
and
of
then
funny.
after we
That
finish
came up
that,
in, it's kind of funny that came up in my feed today. I posted that it ends as it began. I started watching the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Afghanistan, watching a bootleg, and I ended up watching Endgame as a bootleg in Ukraine.
that is funny.
Yeah.
What was the source for bootleg movies in the Ukraine? Because I remember when you were in
Online.
Afghanistan,
I
it
got
was
it on.
the Mechaplex.
Yeah. Yeah, we get them from we in Afghanistan, we got them from the Hajis. So they were actual DVDs. This, I think I just got the Endgame. I think I just got off of Pirate Bay. So, because if I bought a DVD there, it would have been in Russian. So, and my Russian is not that good.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't. Well, what movie did you say you were watching when in the middle of it it switched from English over to German?
Watchmen.
Yeah, that
Yeah. Right at the climax, like
so awkward.
He's on Mars and he brings the Silk Spectre to Mars to talk to him, and she opens her mouth and suddenly it's German. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I took it back.
Every once in a
another
while,
one, and it was the same thing. And I'm like, fuck it, just threw it in the trash. So,
I mean, occasionally, like I'll watch a movie that I have at home with another language track on it, just for a little bit, just for giggles. But I don't like I don't think I'd ever sit down and watch a whole movie.
yeah, and it wasn't subtitled, so I mean, it's
Oh yeah, so they're just you have to watch it and just pick up on context.
That's kind of cool. They started packaging the gear in what looks like a little Foot Locker.
Yeah, it's easily terrible.
Yeah, I mean it's garbage, but it's
and by terrible I don't mean it's actually terrible. I mean it's easily rippable.
Yeah. Still don't understand the tissue paper, but whatever.
I don't know, but I've seen some people say that they wish they had wrapping paper with that same pattern on it, and I can see it.
Yeah, I can see that. Make sure I got all the stuff out of there. And then held in there by twine, which is an interesting choice.
Better than the twist ties.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. I hated those things.
Well, and I'd prefer twist ties over those fucking stretchy plastic bands.
Yeah, the rubber bands.
Yeah. Oh, I hate those.
Well, it's pretty much just obviously it's just a repaint of the Tiger
Force.
Yeah. But I always say this particular Joe or that particular Cobra was one of my favorites as a kid. I mean, favorite kind of to me implies that it's just one, but I had a short list of figures that got played with all the time, and Outback was definitely on that list. So to say that it was a favorite is kind of cliche, but he was definitely on that list of that short list of figures that saw a lot of action.
I don't think I've ever met anybody in the Joe community who says they didn't like Outback. He seems to be one of those characters that pretty well universally liked.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, I can't think about think that I've ever heard anybody say that they didn't like him either. And it definitely goes for a pretty penny, and has some gear that's hard to find. I mean, it's hard to get that his rifle with the strap intact, and it's hard to find that flashlight a lot of times. Mine does not have a flashlight.
Well, and Outback is one of those figures. The vintage figure is notorious for the broken crotches. So
yeah, it's funny you should say that, because I have most of my Joes on display all of my Cobras on display on my flag, and every once in a while I like walk the deck to see who has a broken rubber band, and I noticed today that it's my Rock Viper, and I am not looking forward to changing the rubber band, the O-ring on that.
Yeah, because Rock Viper is also on that list of, if you're buying it on the secondary market, there's a 50-50 chance. No, there's an 80-20 chance that it's got a broken crotch. Dusty, Beachhead, Outback,
the big one too. Yeah.
Rock Viper.
My Beachhead, I don't know if I think I have a Dusty. I'm pretty sure I have a Dusty, and I don't know if his crotch is intact, but I know I have a version 1, a V1. I know I have a V1 Outback, and I'm pretty sure his crotch is intact. And I know I have a V1 Beachhead, because I saw a bunch of posts about that last year, and I went and checked because I wasn't sure.
Yeah. This is why it's one of the issues why when Grindstone Toys brings out their what the fuck is their toy line called?
I don't know.
God damn it. I want to say Operation Recall. No, that's what Carson's got from 3D Joe's. What is fuck?
Shit.
Having a brain fart.
Troy's line.
What?
Troy
yeah.
Shit.
Oh, call sign Longbow.
There you go.
Yeah, that's why he said with the engineering, they're well, to quote the people over on What's on Joe Mind, they're going to be thick in the crotch.
Gotcha.
They're going to be engineered so that they will not have broken waists, because that is a constant frustration with vintage Joe buyers. Is you've got to find figures that don't have broken thumbs, don't have broken waists. And for God's sake, you just have to hope that if you pop their foot on the stand, that the fucking peg doesn't break their foot.
Boy, yeah, no kidding. That I was just going to mention that. That is one that I've seen happen recently that thankfully I've dodged that bullet.
Yeah, I don't. None of mine have broken feet, but I have read many a horror story of somebody getting a brand new, like a Grail figure, and they put it on the fucking stand, and I'm like, that sucks. Yeah, that sucks.
Well, all in all, it's a pretty decent figure. I mean, it's just a repaint, obviously. My only gripe is there's a lot of play in the torso, the hinged torso. I'm not a big fan of hinged torsos to begin with.
Mark Weber, former head of the G.I. Joe brand, regular panelist on What's on Joe Mind, calls it the brutal chest cut. He hates that.
Yeah, mine's super loose.
He's a proponent of any figure that aesthetically has something that can cover the brutal chest cut, or something that can obscure it some way. But some of them, like, it's kind of up. See, it's not something that I get hung up on, but I can understand why it bothers other people.
Normally it doesn't bother me, but it does on this one because it's super loose.
Yeah.
And then his flashlight, the straps for his flashlight sitting above the articulation for the mid-thigh articulation and I'll have to hit it with the hair dryer to soften it up to get it over the lip.
Most of my classified figures that have the straps and the holsters, and yeah, I have to heat it up. I have to move the holster into the spot I want it, and I dab it with super glue on the straps so they don't fucking flop around. Because even in pictures where people showcase their classified figures, if I see the floaty straps that are like he's got the dual straps that hold his holster on and his flashlight holder.
Yeah.
If I see the picture and the holster straps are doing this separately on the leg, it drives me crazy. So yeah, I glue the straps on mine.
I can't quite get that second strap down, so well, maybe.
Yep, heat it up, fix it.
It'll just be easier to heat it up. And his knife needs to come up. His knife strap needs to come up a little bit. But all in all, I like it. I think it's a very good representation of the V1 figure. Again, just kind of not a fan of the super loose torso. But yeah.
Luckily, you can probably fix that.
I could, but I probably won't, since it's probably just going to go on display with the rest of my guys. So,
I don't have that Outback because I'm such a fan of the Tiger Force version that, and really with the vast majority of the characters, I'm good with having one version. Big exceptions being, well, I've got the gold head Destro, the Pimp Daddy, and I've got Tiger Force Duke, but Tiger Force Duke is one of my favorite vintage figures, and so I needed that one. But then I got Duke so long ago that Tiger Force wasn't even on the radar at the time. And I've got both versions of Destro, but there are two versions of Destro, but otherwise, yeah, I'm good with having. I mean, I might buy the other versions, but they end up getting cobbled into one single. Like, I've got both Lady J figures, but I Frankenstein them together, so I've just got the one version.
I would do that if I could get the Walmart Storm Shadow, because it had the forearm wraps that were more reminiscent of the V1 figure compared to the one that got released generally. But I've never seen one to pick one up.
See, I've got the classified Storm Shadow. I got the first one, the Arctic one, the Amazon one. I've got that one. But again, when I bought that, the other one wasn't even on the radar. And now, so I've got two, but I'm fine with it because I have a Joe version and a Cobra version now, because, you know, he did the heel turn in the books. And, but I don't. So generally, like, okay, I've got both Zartans. But he's Zartan.
That's not a surprise there.
But like at some point they're gonna do figures that they haven't repainted. They will end up repainting, but unless they're significantly different, I don't really feel any need to get them.
Outback is. I'm kind of the same way. Outback is the exception to that, just because I'm like the world's biggest Tiger Force like hater. I won't say hater. Hater's a bit strong, but I don't like Tiger Force.
There are people who hate it way more than you do, but you're not a fan.
But that Tiger Force Outback, man, I dig that Tiger Force Outback. That is one of the figures I wish I had in my collection. So when they announced the Tiger Force Outback classified figure, I'm like, I'm gonna splurge and get that one.
Yeah, because I have a vintage Tiger Force Outback.
Now I will be curious to see if they repaint Outback for a third time and do a Night Force version of him. Man, I'd be tempted on that too, because
I think they will too, but I don't think they'll do it anytime soon, because the only other figures that they've gotten multiple versions of are, well, okay, fucking Snake Eyes, but of course they did. And the Bats, which they've already basically said that they're gonna do bats for just about every environment and every situation. But otherwise, yeah, two kind of seems to be where they're staying with most of the Joes. But I don't. Um, yeah,
Roadblock.
I don't know if they'll do a Night Force Outback right away. They might eventually, but because so far the only Night Force figure they've confirmed is Big Ben, and he wasn't in the original Night Force. So
And
I have
his
a feeling
coloring
that
just, I think they're just putting that logo on there just because they're like, hey, let's slap a Night Force logo on this figure. Because he doesn't, his colors are very, very V1. They don't look Night Force at all. I mean, it's from the pictures that I've seen, it looks just like the version 1 figure.
I don't know, but I do think I yeah, I don't think they'll do Outback right away. If they happen to do a Night Force Falcon, they better put a different head in there because my Falcon figure, I figured out the solution. I put the jungle boots on him.
Mm-hmm.
He's still headless because I don't have a head that I don't have a head of my father that I feel like suits. And
And a bunch of people do custom ones.
yeah, well, and I've seen that too, but my big problem with it is I'm not gonna match the skin tone. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, that would be a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Paint matching is my least favorite thing, anyways, but especially on skin tone, no. I mean, a little bit of difference is okay, but like right now, everything I've got, I look at it and I'm just like, it doesn't scream Falcon to me. Now, his default head that he comes with might work for other characters, but it doesn't work for Falcon.
Oh, I think
Um,
that head is horrendous, and I don't think I've seen anybody say that they like it.
no, I haven't either. I'm just saying it it might work for other Joe team members because let's face it, there were some pretty fucking ugly guys in the lineup. Like it'd be a great armadillo.
I was just gonna say
Sucks,
armadillo.
and
I
I
was just
mean,
gonna say
I
armadillo.
mean the
That's
yeah,
hilarious.
he sucks, and so does that head. So that would work.
Yeah. I,
Um,
that's hilarious that you said that because I was like, armadillo is gonna be my first choice.
yeah, because I mean, ugly bastard of a character in the file card art, ugly bastard of a figure. So yeah, ugly bastard of a head sculpt.
Yeah,
Just
no,
give it
I
a
think that
just
would be
give it
perfect.
a misshapen helmet that has no tactical value, and yeah, you're off to a good start on an armadillo costume.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't think they'll do Night Force Outback anytime soon. But hey, who knows? Um,
I don't know. I'm just waiting for I, as much as I've said that I'm not a big fan of the 6-inch Joes, I am excited for some of the ones that are coming out. You know, the Range Viper looks amazing.
yes, it does.
The Torpedo looks decent. And yeah, I'm gonna get a few of those Range Vipers because I'll repaint. I'll do customs of those. I'm gonna do a flaming moth version, and yeah,
Yeah, I've got Torpedo, Copperhead, and Rock and Roll pre-ordered, and at some point when Walmart decides to pull their head out of their asses and put more up for pre-order, I'll get the Range Viper and Big Ben because, well, I missed out on them last time. So,
is that a
um,
Walmart exclusive? I don't remember. Yeah,
yes,
because I haven't seen it up anywhere else.
yeah, they're Shadow Tracker will be a Walmart exclusive, but he hasn't been put up for pre-order yet. Big Ben and Range Viper, and there's another one too that's a Walmart exclusive that will be. I think he'll go up for pre-order the same time Shadow Tracker does. But
Because yeah,
yeah,
I
because
did get my Range Viper. I think I pre-ordered 2 of them, And then I know I have a torpedo Snow Job. I have Snow Job pre-ordered through Pulse.
I didn't pre-order him because I have a feeling he'll be available. I I pre-ordered Torpedo, Copperhead, and Rock and Roll. I adore that figure. That figure is phenomenal.
It is a nice figure.
And Copperhead, I just want to make sure I get one because they did everything they did with version 1 and they just scaled it up and it looks great.
I haven't decided on that one yet.
Copperhead's one that when I was a kid, I really didn't care about, but I've taken to him as a grown up. So
see, I did. I really because he was in one of the very first G.I. Joe comic books that I got. Him and Firefly and Wild Weasel. So he was a very early introduction into my G.I. Joe. So
and that was what, issue 24, 25, somewhere around there.
Yes, because I had 23 as my first and I missed 24. And then 25 would have been my next think, if I remember right.
23 was the first appearance of Roadblock and Duke, right?
Yes.
Which issue had the Michael Golden cover with Cobra Commander in handcuffs? That 23? 24. Because that's one of my favorite
20.
That's one of my favorite comic covers.
I think it's 22. It was the one before 23. Because 23 is the one where Storm Shadow is on the cover with on the claw.
Oh, that's right. Because 21 is the silent issue.
Yes.
And then you're right. It's Captive Cobra Commander in issue 22.
With Clutch and
Roadblock.
That's what I thought.
Big burly Roadblock.
That is an awesome cover. And I met
I think that's
Michael
the
Golden
first appearance of Duke and Roadblock.
I met Michael Golden this year at Denver Comic Con. He was really cool at that.
Yeah, he's got I've got a print of his art from one of the annuals that he signed.
What I got too.
The annual with the 1983 1984 Joes all sort of looking up at the I've got a print of that. He signed it.
I want a print of the back cover with the Cobra. They didn't. He's like, I normally have one, but I'm out. I'm like,
sad. But those are pretty iconic issues of the G.I. Joe.
Yeah, so that's why I'm a fan of Copperhead. He was in one of my probably my ever G.I. Joe comic book.
Yeah, I love his file card. That was one that it was lost on me when I was a kid, but now I'm like, dude's only working for Cobra because his gambling is so out of control.
Right.
That they paid all of his debts. Now he has to pay them. You know what? Fucker's never going to pay that off.
Nope.
But he's one that I appreciate a lot more now than I ever did.
And Water Moccasin was one of my first kind of medium-sized vehicles too. It's certainly my first boat. So I used the shit out of that thing.
I've seen complaints that, what's Copperhead without this boat? It's a classified scale moccasin. That is not going to happen.
I don't.
And I don't.
I think honestly, I would like to see it happen. As much as I keep saying, not 6-inch stuff. I'm not buying 6-inch scale vehicles. Man, a 6-inch water moccasin. Ooh, that might be a tough one for me.
Well,
that might be a tough one for me.
There is 100% zero chance that I would buy it. But
I don't think it would do well as a HasLab just because I don't think it's that popular.
No, it
would have to be a retail release. I don't think they could do it through HasLab. So I don't see it happening that way. And yeah, it would easily be $100 vehicle. So I mean, oh, man,
Yeah. I
it'd be tough, but it'd
but
probably be more than that because I think I saw that the vintage collection um starfighter from like the Naboo starfighter that from Mandalorian is going to be over $100.
yeah, but that's different because the Star Wars line has its own set of pricing, and all of the vehicles are so absurdly overpriced that it's borderline laughable.
It is. I mean, I paid $100 from the big Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, the vintage collection speeder bike and scout trooper with Grogu in the bag that was just released is $45.
I know.
It's a
I
fucking
was
speeder bike
I know. I
with
was
a
tempted
biker
because
scout.
that's one of my favorite troop builders, and I'm like
But yeah,
$45. So
the vehicles are comically overpriced for the Star Wars line. So I mean the re-release or the whatever the latest edition of Boba Fett Starship that came out, I think that was like $150.
yeah, easily. Yeah, it was $150.
So
I
I
customized
don't
mine and it didn't come out well, and I'm just like, man, I should have just left it alone.
exactly. So I don't. So really, just even theoretical pricing of classified GI Joe classified vehicles cannot be compared to
Yeah,
real pricing
I
of
suppose not.
vintage collection scaled Star Wars. It's astronomical. It is. I don't know that they'll ever do a Black Series vehicle again.
I don't see
But
that
if
happening unless they do a HasLab. It's going to be HasLab, and
well, yeah, because they did the Snow Speeder, it didn't sell that well. They did the First Order Tie Fighter, it didn't sell that well. Um, I've seen it. I've
the
seen
original
people
they
online
did the
saying that
original TIE Fighter, didn't they? That was
what?
the first vehicle was original TIE Fighter.
Oh, it might have been. I don't know. I
The
just remember seeing pictures of the Black Series First Order Tie Fighter that somebody had in their living room, and they had put a piece of glass on top of the wings to make a coffee table out of it
yeah,
because it was so comically.
saw that. That's
I mean, it's perfectly in scale with the figures, the
yeah.
6-inch figures, but it's so common. It's so comically oversized for practical display that I'm like, yep, it's the size of a piece of furniture. It's insane.
So I mean, yeah, a classified scale water moccasin, probably 2 feet long. I would say.
Um, I'll do the moccasin would be this big easily,
Yeah,
easily,
I'm gonna say 2 feet. 2 feet long.
but I don't know. I'm a big believer that a lot of the Joe vehicle drivers, especially the early ones, they were strong enough characters to stand on their own that
Absolutely.
I don't. There were so many of the Joe vehicle drivers that Hasbro Direct would offer as mailaways in like 3 or 4 figure sets that, but they were sold sometimes with the vehicles, but a lot of times without because they had enough characterization that they could go without the vehicles. And I think Copperhead's one of those.
Absolutely.
Wild Bill's absolutely one of those. And in
Wild
fact,
Weasel.
Wild Bill is on the list of Joes that I'm really shocked that they haven't announced yet. Um,
I've seen some
he's
customs of him.
huh?
I've seen some amazing Wild Bill customs recently.
Oh, I've seen some amazing customs of him too. I'm just kind of surprised that Hasbro hasn't already confirmed him for the classified line. But yeah, he's one that they'll bring him out. He doesn't need a helicopter. Just bring him out. Um, but now I do think that it would be kind of cool if they did a classified polar battle bear. I don't know if they will. But that'd be kind of cool.
That was my first Joe vehicle. A tough one for me. Again, another, just due to the nostalgia factor, that would be a tough one for me to. I'd be on the fence on that pretty quick, especially with Snow Job, Tripwire, and Torpedo coming out, because those were my three figures that I had with that Polar Battle Bear.
Well, I'm still annoyed they're putting out the Tripwire figures.
Oh,
but
not as annoyed as you're going to be when I make you a listen and fun custom.
Yeah, but see, that's going to be kind of cool because it'll be a custom. But I don't. But yeah, I think the Polar Battle Bear would be interesting. I think a Cobra Ferret is possible.
Yeah, I could see that.
But
again, a fun vehicle. I made a custom of that when you were out here, I think.
Yeah.
Super happy with how that turned out.
Yeah, I think a classified version that would be cool.
Me too.
I think I think they should go. Forgot to mention. I told you I was watching Diamonds Are Forever.
Yes.
As soon as they showed the oil rig in the I'm like, oh, is that what the tactical battle platform? Yeah, I'm like, it's kind of. I'm like, I've seen Armageddon many times. I've seen oil rigs in movies, but I've never actually looked at it and seen like a Joe playset right there forefront. And I did there because like the helicopter shot comes in and they show it from a distance and it doesn't. I'm like it's it's not glossy like modern movies are, so it's just a very static shot. But I'm like, that's what they based the tactical battle platform on, and it just my brain never made that connection until I was watching that movie.
You know what? I've never made that connection, and I've worked on those. I've been on oil platforms all over the world. Mostly off the coast of Africa. Okay, pretty much just off the coast of Africa, but still, I've been on a bunch of them. And yeah, I never put that together.
It wasn't until I was watching that movie that I'm like, wait a minute.
No, I've been on at least half a dozen different oil rigs, and yeah, and I never once thought, hey, this is like being on the tactical battle platform.
Yeah, I was watching the movie and I'm just like,
I saw somebody post a picture of one on Facebook, and they're like, only Joe fans will get this. And I'm like, it looks like one of the rigs that I worked on. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I've been on those.
You've been on the tactical battle platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of those playsets. I never had one. So
I've only ever as an adult. I customized it. I took the legs off of it, and I took a killer whale shell, and I kit bashed the platform to the skirt, and I called it my floating command center. And it actually came out pretty nice. It was actually pretty cool.
I don't remember that custom.
I think
Do you still have it around?
I don't. I had that when I was in Denver. I don't think that even made the move to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would make sense why
Yeah,
I
it
haven't
didn't
seen
even
it
make the
then.
move to Poncha Springs. So I
Um,
think it is still on um Joe Customs. I don't because I don't remember what I think if you look under the pros from Dover, it might okay, now I gotta look. Uh of course, the last time I was on Joe Customs, it is riddled with spam. It's like spyware. Uh, gallery by customizer list. Is there a search? No, I don't see a search. Of course, there's not a search. Why would there be a search? All right. The pros from Dover. Play sets. Yep, it's on there. It's under play sets.
all
The
right, that's cool. I'm gonna
yeah,
have to
pros
look
from
at it
Dover.
too.
I will send you a link in the chat here. And if I think about it, I will put a link to it in uh the show notes.
Oh yeah, yeah, good idea. But yeah, I was watching Diamonds Are Forever, and well, because it was one that I haven't seen. So I I'll tell you what, Las Vegas of the '70s, different beast than Las Vegas of later. I'm just like they kept.
All right, there you go. There's a link in the chat for you. Yeah, it is. Yes, 70s was still like height of the mob era.
Yeah, it was like they showed the Las Vegas Strip, but it's why am I getting a 404 error?
Oh, are you kidding me?
Um,
I'll send it to you in just like regular text message. See if that works.
all right, yeah, yeah,
There you go. That should work. There's at least the thumbnail picture of it.
oh, sweet.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it was my first like big custom and it came out really nice. I kind of wish I still had it.
Oh shit. Now I'm getting the it brought me to one of those the spam sites where I've won an Apple 14 Pro. I'm like, oh thanks.
Yeah, Joe Customs, man, it's just riddled with garbage these days. It's really
Damn,
yeah.
I should talk to John about that. I should mention it. Make sure wonder if it's a known error or something.
I would have to assume they know about it because I tried to use some of they have some templates in the um do it yourself section and it's all just garbage. It's all just riddled with malware.
Man, that is a cool custom.
It did turn out pretty good. Yeah, I will throw a link in the show notes. I can't guarantee that it will work, but again, look for the pros from Dover, and it's in the play sets section.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, so you've been on a real tactical battle platform.
Yeah,
Um,
and yeah, until somebody posted that on Facebook, I didn't even put that together, and it's like I've spent months and months and months on oil platforms.
um,
So yeah.
hey, open that robot up. Let's see what you got.
Oh
Because you're
yeah.
gonna use it for a snake armor custom, right?
Yeah. Probably not. I might prime it tomorrow, but probably won't do much more than that because I got to go back to work on Sunday.
Yeah, I was gonna say your shift's coming up, right?
Since the wife's out of town, I got to drop the dogs off at my mom's house tomorrow. So
Well, on Sunday, they've re-released Return of the Jedi for the 40th anniversary. But it's only at select theaters, and the theater that it's the only theater it's playing at. No, there's two theaters it's playing at locally near me. One is in a mall that I wouldn't go to that mall and attempt to find parking at any time of the year. Um, that the traffic is ungodly. But there is another one. It's a drive, but I don't know. We're out of town right now, so I think we'll hit the theater on the way back because the last time I saw Return of the Jedi in the theater, it was the 1997 special edition.
The last
So,
time I saw it in the theater was when it came out.
well, I was 3, and my parents took me to go. No, I was 3 when it came out. I was 4 when they took me to see it because back then movies got re-released frequently, like sometimes yearly. Because they didn't have a lot of ways to watch it at home. So,
Right.
um, but yeah, because I saw
Makes
the
sense.
special edition, and so I'll go see the. I mean, I'm glad that it is playing at least locally because I know there's some areas that people are complaining they don't have it at all. I
Yeah, I didn't
mean,
know it was a thing. I haven't been following
I
it.
mean,
You know that it was
I
coming.
mean, yeah, because at Star Wars Celebration in London,
Oh
they
yes.
announced that for a week, starting April 28th, they were going to be re-releasing Jedi for the anniversary. The last time or 3 years ago, um, when they re-released The Empire Strikes Back for the 40th anniversary, like towards the end of the summer and in the fall of 2020, I didn't even have a movie theater I could go to see it. So they
Right.
were all closed. Some places, I guess, had open theaters, but not where I was. So, but Return of the Jedi is my favorite. So, kind of have to go see it.
Well, that's pretty much the same build as my other one. Uh, arms are a little tighter on
Now, I
this
was
one,
going to say, I haven't seen any pieces break off of that one, unlike the other one that you did the video on.
right? The weapons pack is supposed to plug into something in the back. It looks like it's supposed to go into the belt, but it doesn't go in very well. So I mean that's kind of shitty. I'm not real impressed. I love the sculpting, I love the detail, but I'm not real impressed with the accessories, that's for sure.
Well, better than having a clips to a gun that doesn't exist. So,
Right? I'm still trying to figure that out. The hatch opens on the front, which is kind of cool.
yeah, that is pretty cool. Although it looks like the guy driving it should be a DJ at a nightclub instead of a mech driver.
Yeah, I might switch that out.
And put up, I don't know, a Cobra in there. Um, um,
Overall, I like the it's kind of the small sized mechs. I'm a big fan of anything mecha, so I do like the sculpt of it, and the paint job's really nice, and
yeah,
the
it's pretty cool.
articulation is amazing. And the joints are fairly tight on mine. I'm not real impressed with the weapon thing. Um, I would rework that somehow, but they've put the pegs far enough apart that they don't really that it's there's not a good place to like drill new holes. So I'll have to figure that out when the time comes. And the like belt on it is just kind of weird too. You just don't see belts on mechs. So that will probably come off, and I'll rework the pistol holster. And does a mech really need a pistol? I don't know.
Not, I mean, no, not really.
No. So I'll probably take the belt off and add some greebles to the back. Probably this somehow. And then yeah, I'll primer it, and then I'll paint it. It's going to be white, obviously, but it'll be mostly white instead of just partially white like this.
Well, I was gonna say you could always do because they did a blue repaint of the snake armor, so you could
Yeah, I
always.
thought about that, but I think the white is more iconic. So,
Yeah.
and I can probably do water slide decals for it if it's white and not have to worry about them showing up on blue.
That's true.
I would have to do opaque water slide decals, and that's something if that's really hard to do because you can't cut it out enough to get the background color. So you've got to color match like if you do a Cobra sigil, you can't get the blue in between. You can't cut out all the stripes. So you've got to do it on a background of the color that you want to use.
No, fuck that. Do it in white.
So yeah, and that's really tough to do. I did that on the Boba Fett that I did for the charity auction. I took a picture of the figure and then took it into Photoshop and color matched it that way. And I did that for the skull on the Punisher that I haven't posted that Punisher yet, but I'm getting my custom Punisher figure autographed by John Barenthal this summer. So I did just black. So I mean that was easy. Just
that reminds me. Finally started watching The Punisher on Disney Plus. Finally started watching it. I'm 3 episodes in, and this micro character, not only do I want to punch him in the face, I'm hoping the Punisher blows him up. I fucking hate that character so far. He is awful.
I was not real impressed with I really, really, really wanted to like the Punisher series, but in the second season, I didn't like the second season at all.
Well, I'll say this: 3 episodes in, John Barenthal makes the show, but he makes the show in most everything he's in. But yeah, that micro character, no. And the two whatever, the investigators in there, I'm like, I feel like their writing's on the wall for them. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it was cool to see Karen Page show up early on because they're friends from the Daredevil series. But that character Micro, I'm just like, oh my god, I hope he's not around all season, and if he is, God, they've got to do something different with him because holy shit, he's awful.
Yeah, I was not impressed with as big a Punisher fan as I am. I was not impressed with the Punisher series. John Barenthal. It's worth watching just for the characterization by John Barenthal. But if you haven't seen any of it, just watch the second season of Daredevil.
I was gonna say because he was great when the Punisher showed up in Daredevil. But yeah, I finally see because I didn't watch it when it was on Netflix, but yeah, I've started watching it, and then I got distracted by 4 other shows. But I mean that's how it goes.
I understand that they're going to be doing a new Punisher series too.
That's the rumor, but he is going to come back for Daredevil Born Again on Disney Plus. So, I have a feeling the other characters will probably be there too. But he's he's good, but I mean he always is. But so yeah, I finally started watching that. So I'll give you an update when I get further into it. But yeah, so far that one character, I'm just like, can we just punch this guy in the face? Or I don't know, drop him off a building, that'd be fine too. Dude's a creep and a half.
I was really disappointed. We just finished watching season 3 of Mandalorian.
You did finish it? What do you think?
I liked it.
Yeah, me too. That
Probably-
dude, I was with it all the way through.
Yeah.
I don't. There were a lot of complaints about this season, but I'm just like,
There's
why?
complaints about everything anymore. It's just like
No
I don't.
shit. Um,
I've got a buddy that I was in Ukraine with that is a huge. Actually, John was on the show with us. John Shaw,
oh,
like
the guy you made the custom
self custom for, yeah.
Yeah.
And man, John, is there anything that you like? Because it's all he posts is just like, this is garbage, this sucks, this ruined my childhood, this is stupid, and just like everything from Marvel to Star Wars, and it's like
I fail to understand how anything that you watch as an adult can possibly have a ruination effect on anything from your childhood. I don't understand that. I haven't understood that since people started screaming about it during the Star Wars prequel releases. That they robbed the child. What? How the fuck does anything you watch as an adult have any impact on your nostalgia about shit that you watched when you were a kid? I don't get it. But then I also don't get watching something just to bag on it. If you hate it, don't watch it. Watch something else. Or I mean, what do you I mean because I've heard the term hate watching, and I'm like,
why would you
are
do
you that much of a masochist that you're going to subject yourself to always watching something that you don't even like? Are you kidding me? I'm confused. Why?
I don't know.
If you can't enjoy it, move on. Not only just find something else to watch, but or go back to the stuff you did like and just watch that.
And we're
lots of complaints about
slowly trying to get through season 2 of Picard, let alone season 3.
You know what? I know there's a lot of praise and love for season 3.
Why is your butt wet? Sorry. That's it.
Oh, hi, Alice. Hi, puppy. Oh, look, she's cute. Yeah, Picard season 3, whatever. It's fine. I've got all the same fucking hangups with it that I did with the first 2 seasons. I'll watch it no matter what, but I just do not understand all the adoration that people are throwing at season 3 because, in my opinion,
praise for.
Well, in my opinion, while they went about it in a better way than they did the first 2 seasons, it's just as, I don't know. It's 10 episodes never seems like as a concept, it never seems like it's going to be enough. But watching it episode by episode, I'm like, how the fuck are they going to stretch this for 8 more episodes? How are they going to stretch this for 7 more episodes?
That's kind of where I'm at on season 2 of Picard. So it's just like, man, it's ever going to end.
I get it. Hey, at least you've got Lower Deck season 4 to look forward to at the end of the summer.
And we will fucking binge that. My mother-in-law watches that.
Really?
Yes.
That's funny.
I know. My mother-in-law is caught. I think she finished the last season of Lower Decks before we did.
That's funny. Yeah, that show. It's the definition of a show that's made by Star Trek nerds for Star Trek nerds, and they poke fun in all the right ways.
Yeah,
without being truly obnoxious about it.
Without being like hateful.
Yeah, exactly. They're not crucifying it. They're simply poking fun at some of the. I mean, they're paying loving tribute to a lot of stuff, but some things they let the air out of the balloon on, and it makes sense. But yeah, Picard is season after season. I'm just like, I'll say this about the third season. Well, it had Worf in it, so that was automatically going to elevate it for me because Worf is my favorite Star Trek character. But there are things in the season I really liked, and there are things in the season that will stop me from rewatching it more than once or twice.
And that's why I was looking forward to season 2, is because my favorite character is Q. So,
are you in season 2?
Yes. They are back on Earth. They just gotten back to Earth. They
in the 24th century.
Yeah,
no, or in the wait, are they in the
22nd century? 22nd century, I think.
Okay.
He just met Guinan.
Oh, so you're early on. Okay.
Maybe 3rd, 4th episode.
I
think we finished.
I rewatched Picard season 1 before Picard season 2 came out. And while I liked it better the second time than I did the first time, that isn't saying much, because that's like saying that the second root canal was better than the first root canal. So,
ouch.
I mean, is it really better? No, it's just you know what to expect, and
you're prepared for it.
Yeah,
you yourself up sufficiently.
Yes, exactly. It's no longer a mystery. It's easier to rip the Band-Aid off. But yeah, it was certainly a TV show. Let's put it that way. But well, anyways, I think we just wanted to do an episode just because, well, we haven't in a while, and Brian had to show off his Outback. So
yeah, my score. I got my Outback today. I was wondering. I saw that we planned on doing this today, and I saw my Outback was coming from Amazon today. I'm like, ooh, I wonder if it'll get here in time for me to open it on the show. So luckily it did.
Well, that's cool because there was one of the figures I ordered, one of the Star Wars Black Series I ordered the other day. It was supposed to come today, but I got the email that, oh, we're running late. It should be there by 10 p.m. on Saturday. I'm like, well, that's not at all helpful for the podcast today, but whatever. Next episode, I guess.
From Pulse saying that my Mindbender's delayed again.
Yeah, I didn't order Mindbender, but if I had, I'd be annoyed because, yeah, I've seen an awful lot of grumbling about that.
I met Brian Cummings.
Yeah, I don't.
Once I met Brian Cummings, I'm like, yeah, okay, I gotta have a decent.
Well, see, and I get that. I totally get that. Doesn't stop me from wishing that they had updated a different version of Dr. Mindbender, but whatever.
I wish that the 1994 version had come out.
I don't mind some of my Joes looking like pro wrestlers, but I'm not really sure that the Cobra Scientist needs to be one of them. But whatever. But
that's why.
Yeah, I'll just say thanks for listening.
Yeah. Because I think that's about all we got for this particular episode. So, as always, please do that fun social media stuff. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. And thanks for watching.